So the EBU has been involved in the standardization of UHD and HDR for the last 5 years, and now the standardization process is done, and it's about now to bring actually the real experience to the consumer, to the users. And this collaboration between EBU, SRG, Sony and Canon is about actually, first of all, bringing the operational experience of creating a UHD experience, UHD HDR experience for the users, for SRG as a broadcaster, but also to realize and to create actually this wow factor that we all look for between UHD, HDR, and HD. Bring this wow factor to the consumer, and that's what we are trying to achieve here. The whole point of this is to test the UHD HDR format in a concert environment. Most of the shots that have been done previously were never done in a almost near live HDR production, and the point of this test is really to showcase how you can really integrate a full UHD HDR workflow with different manufacturers and get a stunning output.
So we are here at the 2017 Montreux Jazz Festival edition. This year we decided 1 month before, so a little bit short in time, to produce also in UHD HDR the Stravinsky. When I say also is that we are doing HD SDR as a mandatory, and in parallel, in the laboratory mode, UHD HDR. The workflow we use here in the Stravinsky Auditorium is based on our usual workflow. We have 9 cameras, but the 6 main cameras are the 4300 from Sony. They are all equipped with Canon lenses. We use 2 long lenses, the UHD 90 and the UHD 86 4K Premium. We also use CG12 and CG20. We have 4 of each because for the handheld camera, then we can change depending on where we can go with the camera. Then we are not using the BPU from Sony, we are using the HDCU because we want it to be in the real world and because this is the way we're going to equip our Bivan. So we use the HD SDR output of the HDCU 4300 to go in the normal workflow, in the usual workflow, the HD SDR workflow. And then we use the UHD HDR output of the camera. And then we go into our control room that we built only for Montreux. This control room is equipped with a video mixer, the 7000 from Sony. We also have recorders. It's quite important because the first goal was not to produce a program but to record each camera and then to go to post-production. But because of the video mixer we can have a program, then we can compare. This is very important. We can compare live. The recorders are 2 from Sony's, the PWS 4500 and the 4400, and we are also using an EVS XT 4K. So we record 7 streams in XAVC Intra, class 300 or class 480. We test all of them. We are very happy with it. We didn't select Canon lenses only for this festival. We went through a test 5 or 6 months ago with the national team in the UHD SRG, and the goal was to choose the next generation lenses for UHD HDR use. This process were based on 4 main topics. First of all, the lens performance. This is one of the most important. Also the user experience, very, very important. We have a lot of operators and we want them to be happy with the lenses. We also went through the service that the company can provide us, and at the end, the price. And because all of that met our expectation, then we choose Canon. So we see the results every night because we can, and we can compare, so we are very happy with it. It is more than we thought. To be honest, it is more than we thought. Everybody that comes through the control room, we get a wow every time. So we should have counted the wow, it could have been done. But I really feel like watching something that brings me more emotion. It's not only UHD, this is more on the HDR side. It's like more life. I mean, the technical issue on the lenses, the technical issue on the camera is only a tools, but all of that is to bring something to the viewer and to the listener. And on my point of view, with this HDR process, we bring more natural things, and I believe that the viewer will feel like if they were in the room, and this is very important to us.
The current industry discussions on HDR and white color gamut center largely on the associated camera, recorders, workflow, and infrastructure. It is sometimes overlooked that the origination of HDR imagery starts with the lens that is coupled with the HDR camera. It is the task of the lens to translate the enormous range of luminant possibilities emanating from real-world scenes. We set priorities to three critical, important optical parameters when designing a lens. That is sharpness, lateral chromatic aberration, and color fringing. All are critical aspects when it comes to a stunning 4K image, and pleased to say, the ones that Canon has mastered over decades to an absolute perfection. I'm very proud that RTS has decided to conduct the UHD HDR experimental production with Canon 4K lenses at such iconic venue as Montreux Jazz Festival, and to see that all of our lenses have reliably performed to a very high standard set by SRT in collaboration with EBU is vastly impressive.